Hi guys, we're here, it's the second day of Cannes and we've just come out the screening for Mad Max Fury Road, and to be honest we think it could probably be the film of the summer.
And not just because the only other real contender is Terminator Genisys. Mad Max is an odd film to make in 2015. It's been 30 years since the last one, and nobody of our generation has really seen it.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it's been a long time. We haven't really been back to the wasteland in quite a long time, so there's going to be a lot of kind of bumps and scrapes in getting back into it, but somehow Fury Road pulls it off, and it pulls it off seamlessly.
It does, and what I really liked is how many in-jokes there were, how many references there were to the original films, but none of them were forced. They all felt very genuine. They were references that felt right within the world that George Miller's created for this new film.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of come off, it's less reference, less Easter egg, more allusions too. The thing that is big for this film is that as it's going to appeal to a much older generation at the moment, with it being this kind of new start for the franchise in a way, you know, you've got something there that is kind of almost standalone. It fits in the universe that the older generation absolutely love and know very well, but there's enough there for somebody who hasn't seen a Mad Max film before, has had no interest in seeing a Mad Max film before, to jump in, you know, both feet first and just get engrossed in the world.
He's got a much bigger budget this time around. I mean, it's cost 100 times more than the original, and that's all on screen. Like, the colours are vibrant, the action, the stunts are absolutely incredible, and it all feels very, very real.
For quite a long time, we've had action that doesn't really drive story. You kind of have a bit of story, bit of action, bit of story, bit of action. Whereas Mad Max almost relies on the action to push the story forward, and it's really fresh. Like, you never get kind of bored, and there's a lot of over-the-top action sequences, very, very elaborate, well-planned action sequences. I mean, people were applauding as soon as the action sequence...
3 times in the showing, in the middle of the film, people were cheering. It's that good a movie.
Yeah, and it wasn't just like a ripple of apathy, it was full-on cheering. It was crazy.
There were some whoops. There were
some whoops. There were definitely some whoops.
If you're talking about character in this film, the character to talk about is Max himself, who isn't actually the centre of the narrative at all, is he?
No, I mean, Mad Max, obviously, his name's in the title, it's Max Rokitansky.
And he drove the story in the first 3 films. He was the main character,
yeah.
And he's still the main character here, but...
Whereas this time, we kind of get Max as a central character, but he must have about 15 lines in the entire film. You know, he's there to push the story forward, but it's not his story, it's Charlize Theron's story. It's not what you're expecting, especially given the trailer. Whereas with other films we've had recently, where they kind of deliver a lot in terms of trailer content, and it kind of promises a much big grand story, and it turns out in the end that that's not what you were sold. Fury Road just kind of sets up that, it sets up the universe. The trailer itself gives you a faint impression, and you'll notice that as you start watching the film, everything you thought you knew about the film goes out the window.
Well, about half an hour in, you realise you've seen a lot of the footage from the trailers and most of the plot from the trailers as well. It's a very unique experience going into a film and halfway through realising you have no idea where it's going to go.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you just kind of, you got to go with it. I think it's a really great bit of escapism. It should be what action cinema's like trying to be. I guess the big thing about this is that people want to know is it as good as it's being made out to be? Is it going to be a hit? And I don't know, I mean, it really, really feels like this summer's going to have a lot of stiff competition in the form of Mad Max. Do you have anything to add?
I mean, it's a great film. It's as good as the critics are saying. But whether it's actually going to be a hit, I don't know. Mad Max hasn't got that recognisability with most audiences, and Tom Hardy isn't a big name as much as we'd like him to be. And I think this will help Hardy's star rise, but as a film itself, it'll break even. It'll make its massive budget back, but I don't think it's going to be a hit like Avengers or Fast and Furious 7.
Yeah. So yeah, we're here for the rest of the festival. To keep up with What Culture's coverage, go to whatculture.com. Make sure to hit us up on Facebook and Twitter, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And make sure you go see Mad Max Fury Road.